The vision of the Minneapolis Heart Institute Foundation is a world without heart and vascular disease, and that especially includes women.
I think that women's heart health care has improved over the last 15 years. Women are much more aware than they used to be that they're, first of all, at risk for heart disease, that the symptoms might be different, that they need to be aware of signs and symptoms to watch for. Of women over 20 years old, 44% have some form of heart disease. So it's extremely common, and we have to take care of ourselves as well.
And what happens is when they start approaching menopause, that estrogen that you've got in those years provides a little cardiovascular benefits and protective effect. It raises HDL, it makes the blood vessels a little bit more elastic, they're a little more pliable. You kind of can get away with it, so to speak.
I hope going forward in the future that women will be involved in more specific medical trials that involve men and women, but perhaps some that are unique to women as well.
I really wish it would get started a little more aggressively younger. 21 years old, everybody should be getting cholesterol. Doesn't happen. Get into your 30s and 40s, it's probably a good time to start thinking about your other risk profile. What is your blood pressure specifically? Are you keeping a bit of a log? Is it okay? Are you checking these things? A lot of it's just checking.
Well, we are here tonight because there is work to be done around women's heart health. So we're here to get the energy, to get the knowledge, to learn from our cardiologists that are going to answer questions this evening. But we do have a ways to go to fully appreciate how to care for a woman's heart. And we are so fortunate to have the Penny Anderson Women's Cardiovascular Center. And because of that center, we are able to bring together an interdisciplinary team of experts to move the needle.
My name is Jean, and I am recently retired from a very stressful job. My heart story begins back during my working years, and during that time, because I had so much stress and so little time to really think about my health, I developed some pretty bad health habits.
My name is Megan Holmes. I was born with an aortic valve defect that was heard at birth, so I've always known I've had a heart issue.
I mean, I knew what a good diet was supposed to be, but, it was just too hard to follow it. After I retired and I finally, kind of had time to start focusing on my health, I decided to have a coronary calcium scan. And when it came back, it showed kind of scary levels of plaque in my arteries. So that was really the wake-up call that I needed.
Jean maybe had a few risk factors, high blood pressure creeping up, a little bit of glucose elevation and so forth, but it's a good way to go on and have a heart scan. And we founded that program with the idea of kind of getting people earlier.
After I had my children, my heart became a lot more pronounced. And I found in the decade after I had my second that exercise was harder, breathing was harder, that my whole body just felt heavy, and I almost started to feel like I was half asleep. I didn't think at 42 I'd have to have heart surgery.
And so I think she was very tuned into her body, and I think she had seen a cardiologist who thought she should just watch things, and she sought other opinions, which I think was the right thing to do in her case.
I would want Jean to know that everything that she's doing is going to have an impact, and those will be additive. Diet is paying big dividends. You're getting less heart disease, less stroke, less diabetes, less cancer. We know that we can get regression of this. We can actually cause this plaque that she's got to sort of stop or even regress, and she'll do fine, she'll do great.
Since I started making all these changes, I've lost about 40 pounds. All of my numbers have stabilized. My blood pressure's down, the cholesterol's down, and all of my most recent tests look, better than they ever have. And also, I feel better.
And now I'm in the second half of my life where I have a second chance, and I want to do the best I can for myself. I said, I want to learn how to run. And I started to do that, and I'd be hitting like a mile straight. Oh my gosh, huge deal. 5K, holy mackerel. I just wanted to do more for myself than just my surgery. I wanted to honor, work from the care team that I've had at the hospital. I wanted to honor my family for helping me and just being my family. I think an understanding of women's heart health, the experience women have within that sphere, is incredibly important to understand further.
Megan, thanks so much for being such a great advocate for other women with with heart disease and trying to understand your disease and spread the word about heart disease to other people.
And I volunteer at the hospital where I had my heart surgery. And I started to do it because I felt so incredibly grateful. Your heart and you have value.
If I had to go back and give myself some advice from 20 years ago, I would have said, start now, because you can save yourself a lot of time.
I just want equity. I think pushing everything forward so that women's health is like everybody's health, that we're there. I think you think about all the people that came prior to you in history who've had heart surgery when the technology and the technique has not been as it is now. I think of all of them as extremely brave people, and I'm benefiting from that. That's what allowed me to let go of a lot and just to trust. I feel so much more alive, and that the second half of my life is something I just want to do the best I can in it. It's a really beautiful experience, really hard and beautiful experience.